online concession stand at rrgsnacks.com has all of our favorite goodies back in stock, from Western barbecue bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, butter toffee peanuts, and gummy sour peach rings.
So Shemar Moore done welcomed his first child in 2023, but he said he ain't ready to be somebody's husband. You can be somebody's daddy, but you can't be somebody's husband. Here we go. We done heard this before in more ways than one from different people. They all say the same thing. Now, Shemar said he didn't have a good role model of marriage and what it looked like, number one. And then he say number two, and what is this whole prenup thing? He asked his mom, before she departed this life back in 2020. What, mama, if you say you love me, you got my back until things don't go well, what is this prenup thing? And see, this is a question that's asked by people who don't understand what marriage is, or people who don't understand what husbandry is. Now, I'm not going to go into specifics. Look up husbandry, and maybe we'll bring that up another day. But essentially, and according to social standards and historically, a husband covers his wife and children financially, emotionally, and spiritually. You are the head of the household. Everything flows from you to your wife and your children, okay? And as you nourish your wife, okay, she in turn nourishes the children and you. A woman is receptive. Okay, she's going to take and multiply anything that you put in her. Children, okay, she takes your seed and gives you children. She takes a house and makes it a home. She takes the groceries and makes a meal. But men today want marriage to be 50-50. And I don't mean 50-50 in the way we tease, let's go half on a baby, let's go half on the rent, let's go half on the bill. But even in terms of calling it, reducing a marriage down to a partnership, it's not a partnership. It's not 50-50. It's 100. It's 100. When a woman marries a man, her life is in his hands. Those children's lives are in his hands. That's how serious it's supposed to be. And a prenup is like a dowry. A prenup ensures that she will continue to be cared for. Her children will continue to be cared for if the marriage dissolves. But if a woman has created a home and given you children, and you think it's fair to just walk away from the marriage, turn your back on this woman and these children and not provide for them or give them the life they have become accustomed to, you have marriage confused with a business arrangement. This is not how it works. And the reason people get married is because the woman biologically becomes attached to the man. But you want to cut her off with a piece of paper and file it in the courthouse and turn your back and just walk away? That's what the prenup is for. This here just opened up a whole can of worms for me, and Auntie is sorry for going off, but somebody somewhere needed to hear that. Now listen, what I think is going on with Shemar is he just need to come out and say, I'm scared she gonna take half my money that I worked so hard for. That's the truth. It is a valid fear. Go ahead on and say that. I'm scared she's gonna take half my money, and unless I have a rock solid prenup, I don't want to do this. But prenups can be torn apart, and a judge ultimately has the final say. So I understand his fear. I mean, he ain't as rich as some other men out here, so I understand his concern. But here's the flip side of that. You have a daughter, Shemar. Would you want a man to say the same thing about your daughter? Is it okay with you if a man impregnates your daughter and does not commit to her through marriage? Is that all right with you, Shemar? If it is, then you might have a valid point. If it ain't, I need you to dig a little deeper and think about this trauma that's preventing you from committing to this woman, her previous children, and the daughter that you all share together. Okay? I don't know why y'all out here keep making these broken homes and raising girls. You don't think that she's watching you? You don't think that the kids at school asking if your mom and daddy are married, you don't think that's going to impact her? You don't think she's going to grow up and pick a man just like you? And I don't want to hear the hoteps in the comments talking about that's the European standard. Sir, sit down, okay? And grand rising on that. Anyway, and another thing before I go, because I feel like somebody gonna say, well, y'all just act like you gotta have all this money. Okay, no, don't nobody got all that money to get married and have kids. Exactly. 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 That's my point. That is what I've been trying to tell y'all all this time. No, you do not deserve to get married, and you do not deserve to have children if you cannot financially afford them. If you cannot afford a wife and you cannot afford children, don't be out here impregnating them. And I know I'm going hard on the men, but that's because there's so much social weight and responsibility placed on the man because, that's just the way our society is set up. Until that changes, that's the way it is, all right? But listen, let me come to the women because y'all got to say so and who get in between them legs, in between the sheets, okay? Don't be out here having kids by a man that is refusing to commit to you. This is why we say have children within the confines of marriage so that there is some sort of financial, civil protection provided to you by law. It is just nice. It's just a nice thing that has happened that child support came along. All right, but everybody don't get child support and everybody don't get enough child support with your salary from the AutoZone, from the Burger King, from the Chick-fil-A, okay? But yeah, ultimately, if you can't afford it, don't do it. Ladies, listen, don't have no baby thinking that man gonna marry you because he had a baby. Don't do it. Let him marry you. Let him commit to you. See that he's financially able to provide for a family, then have your baby, okay? If you don't find a man that's financially able to do it, guess what? Don't get married, okay? And don't have children. Period, Pooh. Come on, besties, say it with me. Say it with me. Y'all ready? Repeat after me. There is a price for progeny. Repeat after me. There is a price for progeny. In other words, as Cardi B might say it, broke boys don't deserve no children. I know that's right. Shemar Moore may not be broke, but he got broke philosophy. Because ultimately, if you love this woman the way you say you do, her children from a previous marriage the way you say you do, the child that you all share together the way you say you do, you should want to give her everything you got, plus some. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but what I'm saying is you should want to make sure that she is cared for and that she is provided for. Because what happens if you die, Shemar? What happens then? What happens to all the resources that you were giving her so willingly outside of marriage? What happens then? Huh? She's not the beneficiary on any life insurance policies, or is she? Have you made plans for what's going to happen to your daughter financially if you should die and you're not married to her mother? Or what's going to happen to her mother if you haven't made provisions for her to provide for your daughter? And if you have made provisions, go ahead and get married, because what's the difference? You made a contract to take care of her if you should die outside of marriage. A prenup is a contract to protect her while you're in the marriage. Okay, same thing. Chad, this just got me exhausted. Let me step on down off this soapbox and I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Let me know what y'all think down below, besties, because this is a hot, stinking mess right here. I'm finna go make my list for snacks I'm going to get for the Black Friday sale. I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.